In this exercise, you are loading a background image into a div by way of CSS. And when you first insert your div, you'll see there's just this line of code that opens a div with the CSS class and then closes it. And your style sheet should have a style for that class selector, which is loading the background image. In the book, we ask you to go view this in Live Server, and what you'll see is, perhaps surprisingly, that the background image is not appearing to load. This is not an error, and this is a situation where you have to a little bit anticipate what CSS is going to kind of interpret your command as, or how the browser will render this. So here we do see the H1 tag, everything you need. And I have the developer tools open over here. I got there by going under the view menu in Chrome and then developer tools. And with the developer tools open, I can see that div class is there with the background image. I can also see, if I look here in the model, that the size of it has a width, but it has 0 height. And that is meant to be something of a clue. Just a reminder, when you're in here, this little selection tool can be used to select components or elements on the page. And that can be sometimes very helpful or very useful. So the hint, I guess, is that the background image has 0 height. And the solution is to give your background image its width and height, which, if I'm remembering correctly, is 400 pixels by 400 pixels. Now, before I add this to the page, I want to just show you what some people might call a hack, which is sometimes there's this kind of clue of like, oh, wait, there's nothing between my div tags. So like, what if I wrote a paragraph tag and just put some content in there and looked back on my page to see what's happening? Well, now I see the word test comes up and I get this little tiny part of my image showing up, 18 pixels vertically of my wrench. And if I come back to that div tag, I can go ahead and copy and paste. I have done this so many times to just see what's going on in my code. So now I can kind of get, oh yeah, okay, now I see there wasn't content in there. That's why my image wasn't showing up. I use this sometimes just as a way to test the code, see what's going on. I don't actually want to have any words there, but now I know, okay, if I go and assign a width and a height, I should be good to go here. I'm using command/ to comment out in the CSS code and command/ to put it back. And now I can see that the wrench is showing up because it has an assigned width and height, and I can see the content block there being the dimensions that I gave the image.